Hey guys, what is going on? This is Travis P11. Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while since we've done any kind of an optics test, and today we're going to do one. We're going to do a little unboxing, and then we're going to mount this CVLIFE Wolf Cloak Reflex Sight to a Taurus G3 that I'm converting to a Toro model with a slide conversion that has an optics cut. I'm not going to mention how much I paid for this because YouTube's a little bit funny about mentioning prices and websites and so on that are related to firearms, but if you go over to CVLIFE.com, you guguys can look it up. And I will say this, I paid about 30 or 40 bucks below the retail price. Didn't get any kind of special deals. I just found a coupon discount online that I applied to it, and I got it. So let's just do a little unboxing and see what this little sub $100 optic has to offer. All right, so we do have our instruction manual, Wolf Cloak Mini Red Dot Sight, user manual. Looking at it here, I was just checking to see if there's any kind of warranty information. You know, a big thing that you see a lot with optics these days are companies that are offering you a lifetime guarantee on it. Now, I will say this, that this is really nice. The instruction manual has outlined clearly how you properly mount it, using the different bases that are included with it. It talks about motion activation, how to adjust your windage and elevation, care and maintenance. All right, so there may be something in here about a warranty. If there is, I'll definitely let you know. This is cool. They give us 2 batteries. I think it only uses 1, but it's kind of nice that they do give us 2. I believe that you do have to remove the optic in order to change the battery, though, which is one thing you can run into. So this is one of our plates. I believe it comes with an MOS plate, if I'm not mistaken, and a dovetail plate. And I believe that MOS and RMR are compatible. If I'm not mistaken, I'm kind of new to the pistol optics game in terms of actually mounting one. This is my first pistol mounted optic that I've ever actually mounted myself and bought on the channel. This is your dovetail mount, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure exactly what you're going to do with that, but it does also come with a Picatinny rail mount too, so you can put it on an AR or anything that has your mil standard Picatinny rail. So this plate is made out of aluminum. It's made out of metal. We have a little key here that we use to adjust the windage and elevation. It's kind of nice that's included. And we do, oh, there's a cover. Okay, we do have a cover over the unit itself. It is made out of aircraft grade aluminum, according to the specifications on the CVLIFE website. All right, it's decent. We'll go and take the cover off here. It has a multi-coated lens. It has something like 7 or 8 different coatings on it. And, you know, a good test is, you know, how much blue, how much tint does it have to it when you take it outside. We'll definitely do that. We won't really show the red dot off until we get it outside, or maybe we'll set it up inside. Usually, I can't get the dots to show up on camera. They're just usually fairly blurred. We do have a power button right here. We'll go through and see if you can turn on or turn off the shake awake option. And battery mounting, I think, like I said before, we have to take the mount off before we can put the battery on it. You've got your, windage and elevation adjustment screws on the top and the side. Construction feels just like a lot of the other red dots that are out there. It's a little bit thick, but not too much. And yeah, it seems to be fairly well built. And then this is the Picatinny rail mount. All right, so why don't we go ahead and get the battery in it. We'll just turn it on and see how well it works. Just real quicker before I forget, battery life 20,000 hours, weighs 2.3 ounces. It does plus or minus 40 MOA. It is a 2 MOA sight. Length is 1.77 inches, height is 1.46 inches, width is 1.18 inches. 12 different illumination settings, and adjustments are 1 MOA. It says that shock, dust, impact, fog, and recoil resistant. The box says waterproof, but I don't know if I necessarily want to submerge this thing. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get it set up. All right, guys, so I was a little bit curious about the dovetail mount, how this works specifically, and what it is if you have a Glock-compatible rear sight, you would tap that side out, you would tap this in, and then there's a screw right in the middle that'll go down there, and that will secure this base plate to your firearm. So you can actually make this work with any Glock-compatible rear sight. Not sure how secure it's going to be. In fact, we're probably going to do some Loctite on these screws once we get them mounted. As I look through it, they do show you how to mount for an RMR cut, as well as a Glock MOS configuration, so that's good to know. So I mean, there's really no way you can mess it up. And just for the simplicity's sake of showing you, you know, how it works and stuff, before we even mount it to the gun, I just went ahead and attached a plate to the bottom of it, which is necessary for the sight to turn on. One thing about it is that the buttons seem to be the opposite of what it says in the manual. If you click it on the left-hand side, it actually increases the intensity. The right decreases it. The manual says otherwise. I'm going to let it auto power off and then see if the shake and wake feature works, because just powering it off and then holding it in my hands and then shaking it didn't cause it to come on, but that was with me pushing the button to power it off manually. So we're going to let it just go into its natural sleep mode, and then we'll just shake it and see if it works. And if it does, then we know that shake and wake is going to work. All right, now I can't speak obviously the long-term durability, because this is just going to be a quick little range test. We're going to put a few rounds down the range and see how well it holds 0, if it does. Okay, so I just glanced at it from the back here, and the red dot is actually turned off, so let me just go ahead and take it and shake it. And it did turn on. Okay, the dot did turn on. Let me go ahead and just turn up the intensity, and we'll see if we can get you guys to actually see it through the lens here. I don't know if you're going to be able to. Let me go ahead and turn it up all the way here. So yeah, you guys, this is pretty typical. You get this big, you know, kind of blurry dot. It's not like that at all when you see it in person. But no, it does, you know, the glass is pretty clear. I'm actually really surprised by the overall kind of fit and feel and quality. But the big thing is going to be how it functions once we actually shoot it. So let's go ahead and get it mounted to the Taurus G3. We'll take a look and see what it looks like, and then we will go hit the range. Hang tight. All right, so here's the Wolf Cloak mounted to my Taurus G3. What I did was I bought a Taurus G3 conversion kit, and that allowed me to use an optics cut with my G3. This G3 never originally came with one. And while it's not the most, you know, budget-friendly option, this particular conversion kit's fairly inexpensive compared with what it costs to get an optics cut done on a lot of your more popular guns. So anyway, in order to mount the Wolf Cloak to the G3 slide, I used the RMR plate that came with the G3. It mounts directly onto the plate itself, and I ended up having to use two of the screws that came with the conversion kit. All the screws that were included in the CVLIFE box, none of them were long enough, so I'm not sure exactly what you're going to do, how you're going to make that work, but two of the screws that came with it fit perfectly. There's no wiggle at all. Everything's nice and secure and tight, and we will see how it works. So we are cleared, by the way. And with the, yep, dot sight's on. All I did was pick up the sight and just shook it one time, and the dot did come on. And again, the dot is much, much sharper in person than what you guys are seeing right here. So why don't we go ahead and hit the range? We're just going to run a little bit of 115 grain ball ammo and just check the standing accuracy of this red dot. Mainly, I'm just curious to see if it's going to hold zero, see how it's going to handle working out in freezing conditions, and also see if it's going to stay on. And we'll check those screws. I did put a little bit of Loctite on them, some blue Loctite, some thread locker here. And that's going to help ensure that the screws don't come out. And the screws are down there quite a bit, actually, probably, oh, I'd say at least a quarter inch, if not more, into the slide itself. So they should hold really well. And let's see how well this bad boy performs. All right, guys, so I usually don't film myself zeroing firearms. You know, it's kind of boring to watch that. But just in case this sight would happen to fly off or it would break or stop working, I really want to just kind of get the footage now as you see me take these initial shots. I'll narrow this down and edit it down so you don't watch the whole thing, but just to kind of show you what I do. I did sort of zero it at home using a Manus little laser shell that goes in there. I was dry firing and watching where that red dot was landing, and then also lining up the red dot on the sight with it. So it's kind of an easy way to get a little 10-yard zero in the home before I even came out here. So I'm just going to take a few shots and make some adjustments. We'll be as careful as possible. And I'm going to check those screws after every mag, you know, just in case this thing would break or fly off. Again, I want to make sure we have some footage of me shooting this thing so I can comment on it. So let's just go ahead and take a few shots and see if it makes it through. All right. Okay, low and to the left. Okay, spot on the bullseye. Oh yeah, that's good. I don't think we're going to make any adjustments at all. I have never shot the G3 this good before. I'm not lying, guys. Okay, a little high to the right. Okay, there we go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and check those screws. I'm not going to over tighten them, just make sure they're not coming loose. I don't want to break the Loctite that I've already put on there. All right, we're going to go ahead and do our accuracy testing. I'm going to put up a couple different bullseyes here. We'll do groups of 3 or 4 on those, and then we'll take them home and measure them. We'll take that target home that I just shot at. We'll take a look at it and kind of give you the final word. And again, if we have any problems with it, you guys are going to see it in real time. I'm not being paid by CVLIFE to do this video. In fact, I bought this optic out of pocket. All right, here we go. All right, so I wish I would have stayed longer at the range and put out a few more shots down range, except the problem was is that the weather conditions were deteriorating. Things were starting to glaze over with ice, and to get home, I have to drive home on a fairly quick expressway, so I want to make sure I could get home safely. So we did put a few rounds down the pipe. I do intend on testing this CVLIFE Wolf Cloak a lot more on the channel. So we don't count the flyer. We did have a nice little 6-shot group. 6 or 7 shot group over here of 1.96 inches, 115 grain. I didn't do the whole mag because I was so happy with how it was shooting. I was ready to move over to the target and kind of get things going, right? So top left corner here on this target, we have 1.72 inches, top right, 1.196, and this is standing. All right, and you can definitely tell how shaky your hands are with the red dot. It definitely, emphasizes that movement. You definitely notice it a lot more than I would say you would if you're just using iron sights. Bottom right corner, 0.53 of an inch. Bottom left corner, we have 1.488 inches. The 12-shot average was 1.23 inches, and this was at 10 yards. 4 shots in the center, 1.82 inches. I didn't include that in the group because this was a 4-shot group. So anyway, what are my thoughts about it? What do I think? Well, I went back and watched my old G3 video, clear by the way. And I have a tendency to shoot low and to left with the G3 like I mentioned before. And as I backed up and my distance increased, my shot and accuracy got even worse and even further to the left and low. Well, that was not the situation here at all. In fact, this is some of the best shooting I've ever done with the G3 before. And I understand it. I get it. I understand why people put red dots on their pistols. It made it much easier to pick up the target. I felt a lot more confident shooting. And I shoot a lot, but it makes it so much easier just to see the dot and know where the round's going to go. Well, duh, right? That's how these things operate. But again, the CVLIFE Wolf Cloak Optic, it did survive the few rounds that we put through it. One thing I'm going to say about it is that, they claim it's water resistant or waterproof. No, the bottom of this is completely open. When you put it on the plate, that's not water resistant. Maybe if you put some sort of some sort of silica or some sort of silicone around it, maybe to waterproof it a little bit better. You could do that, maybe sandwich it in there, kind of squish it in there, or maybe RTV sealant, but I really don't recommend that because you have to access the battery on the bottom. So I'm going to call this is a new term I'm going to coin, and I don't know if anybody uses it, but a recreational grade optic, which means that it's going to work for fun trips to the range. It's going to work if you just want to plink around a little bit. It would work, I would say, in an emergency, okay? But it's not necessarily an optic I would trust my life to, nor is it a go-to-war grade optic. But it worked, it held zero, and it's cheap, and that's all I really care about for this test. That's the most important thing. And I mean, I've got very expensive optics on my firearms and lights and so on. I don't skimp out on that stuff anymore, especially the older I get. So overall, I am very impressed with this optic. It did what it needed to do. It held zero. The shake and wake is very reactive. I do like that. It's got nice brightness levels to it. The optics are clear. Other than just having the 30-day guarantee with it, I wish it was lifetime, but it's not. That's about the one thing I think CVLIFE is going to need to change if they really want to be competitive, because even some of the cheaper, lesser brands are offering, a lifetime guarantee on the products, and I think they should maybe think about going that route because that instills some confidence in the consumer. But hey, what do I know about marketing, right? But anyway, guys, this is Travis P11. Thanks for watching my little test of the CVLIFE Wolf Cloak Red Dot, 2 MOA Red Dot. I do feel that the dot was nice and clear. I was shooting with my contacts in, and that it was always easier for me to see a red dot than my glasses. There's even less of a starburst effect, and it is a nice, crisp, clear dot. So, try it, see what you think about it. Like I said, keep in mind it's a budget-friendly, recreational-grade optic, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. So anyway, this is Travis P11. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We have a lot more content coming your way. I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe. Get out there and do some shooting. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.